Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm glad everybody is here. I have a really packed live stream tonight. We got quite a few things we got to discuss. I got a couple announcements. Um, I hope everybody is doing fine and everybody is having a great Saturday evening. Let's get through one thing real quick here. Everybody, please give me a number one if you can hear me so I know everything is going okay here and you can hear what I am saying. And then we'll get this thing going here. Can everybody hear me? Please give me a number one. All right. All right. Everybody can hear me. That is good. Let's see who all we have in the house real quick. And we'll get going on the live stream. Oh, everybody's jumping on now. All right. Let me just start right down here at the bottom since it keeps just jumping right back to me. Jerry's here. Camilla's here. White Hammer's here. Victoria, Jennifer, Jerry, Gina, Carl, nice to see you. Loris Tucker, Linda, Coffee Guy, OG is here. Rick's here. Gun Girl's here. Crazy Backyard Chicken Man is here. Jan is here. My moderators always here. Jan, JT, and Coffee First and Speak. And also, I'd like to welcome all the members that are here. I did see, I think, a couple as I was scrolling through, and it just keeps jumping on me. But welcome all you members. We are working on putting together some member content, something that I want to throw out to the members that are on here right now that is very important. YouTube has made some changes and updates to the members program. So what you have to do is you have to go in and make sure that you click to be notified whenever I post something for members only. This way here you're going to get notified. They changed some things in there. I did receive an email from YouTube stating this, that I had to let all my members know this. So I'm letting all you people know. You have to go in and make sure that you're turning on notifications, that whenever I post a comment for members only or a video for members only, you guys are receiving that information. So I just want to get that out of the way real quick. YouTube is making a lot of different changes and stuff, and so we'll see how this all plays out. Let me see here. Get back in here. Vera's here. I think I already said hello to Carmela. Blue Cajun Rose is here. Justin's here. MBG's here. Bubble Bobble. Missy 101472 is here. Mammy's here. Nancy, Angela, Heather, the Food Preservation Channel. Hey, welcome. Carol's here. Miss P Kitty 13 is here. Let's see here. Who else? Anna's here. Sharon's here. Rockamoss. Bob R. Always nice to see you. That is one of the members. I think I got everybody up to that point there. Let me jump back down. K. Paul is here. Amazing Grandma's here. Just in case. Lefty Lisa. Oh, what else? Cheryl's here. Michelle, One Night Stand is here. I believe Brenda, nice to see you. We have somebody from Brazil, Evos. I know I'm going to kill it. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. But somebody's from Brazil. Thank you for showing up. Ohio's here. Heather. This is a person from Brazil. Nice to see you. Let me just scroll down through, make sure that we're getting everybody here. WTF is here. Mammy's here. Robert's here. How you doing, Robert? Louise. Jane Hendricks is here. As course, Rockamoss. Lefty Lisa's here. Stacey W. White Hammer. John C's here. He's from Alabama. Welcome. Finland. We have somebody from Finland here. So we got people from all over the world is here. I mean, this is just incredible, folks. You guys are just awesome. All right. Stewart's Prepping is here. Blue Ridge Survival Prepping and Autumn Amber. MOK. We've got some more members here. Thank you for being here. There's Jitterbug and Tarquil. Is that pronounced right? Like I said, I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry, folks. Rockamoss. We have Jennifer from Ohio. Southern Florida Prepper DCL. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. It's always good seeing you here, man. All right, so let's get going on a couple of quick things here, folks, that I just want everybody to be aware of. Number one, Amazon Prime Days is coming up. There is a lot of stuff that is going on sale, and I got a kind of a heads up on some of the things and stuff, and I'll have a video coming out on Monday on a lot of the products. It's on a lot of the different survival products and survival foods and everything else. So you all really need to pay attention. Just remember, all you have to do, you don't have to go in, you don't have to search for a lot of this kind of stuff and everything else. I've done all the work for you. I have it broken down into all different types of categories to make your lives a lot easier when you are looking for different types of survival gear, survival food, and all this stuff, different kind of things. So all you have to do is just click the link in any video, or right on my main homepage, you'll see right up in the corner right there, Amazon. You just click that. It takes you right to the storefront. And even if you don't buy anything in there, it gives you ideas on some of the different products and things that you may be looking for or wanting or whatever else. And then you can go and look and see what you may want, what you may be able to afford, and this type of stuff. Having something is better than having nothing. And right now, all these companies, because it's not Amazon, Walmart, Target, all these major corporations and stuff, they're hurting. All right, folks, they are hurting big time, especially Walmart. And I talk about that in my video coming out tomorrow at high noon. All right, that's at high noon tomorrow. That video comes out. And what I saw in the store today that I took videos of and pictures of, I mean, unbelievable, folks. But this company is hurting. All right. There's a lot of bad stuff that's going on. It's being hush-hushed underneath the carpet there. They need the money. They're trying to give this stuff away. Why do you think all these companies are doing all these big sales now? Because they can't wait until the end of November for Christmas season. They got to get the cash now. You know what I'm saying? So if you are able to basically score on their downfall and get some of the good survival products and things that you need, gear, whatever it may be, clothing, whatever it is, if you can get a really good deal and save some money and everything else, now is the time to buy. I don't think there's going to be quite these many sales come Christmas time. Maybe there will be. But here's the problem with that. We already have the jobs report came out the other day, and we were up, 263,000 jobs or something, or 233,000, whatever it was. We were up more than what the analysts and the Fed wanted us to be up. So they're already talking that they're going to be raising the interest rates again at the end of next month. Another 0.75%. So the way this works, folks, is now it's very hard for me to wrap my head around this. All right. because it just doesn't make sense. But this is how this works. They have to make the jobs that are being created go down. The unemployment rate, which is at an all-time low at 3.5%, they need that to go up so that they can say that they're getting inflation under control. So basically what this boils down to is they have to put you at a job in the unemployment line to get the inflation under control. Doesn't make sense, does it? That's our government. That's what they do. They do all this crazy stuff. And basically, you got to put either small companies out of business. You have to get people that are employed on the employment line. Don't create so many jobs so that we can say that we're, quote, getting the inflation under control. Doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of stuff that's coming down the pike, folks, and we're going to be covering a lot of this stuff tonight. And you people really need to be prepared. You really need to be paying attention to what's going on, because this is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly really quick, and it's going to affect everybody that's out here. I went to the store today, and I couldn't believe some of the prices. Now, I haven't been in Walmart in probably about 2 months or so. You know, if we need something or whatever, I'll either order and go pick it up, or I'll order it and have it delivered. You know, here in Florida, you know, you get all these delivery services and everything else. So you don't typically have to go into the store. So today I chose to. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about stuff that's going on. I've been seeing a lot of stuff. People have been emailing me pictures and stuff of what they've been seeing in their areas, not here in Florida, but in other areas of this country. So I wanted to see, and I saw it, and you're going to see it tomorrow because I took video. I went shopping. I got there at 8:30 in the morning, just so everybody knows. I'm going to be putting this in the comments tomorrow. I got there at 8:30. I was in there for about an hour and 20 minutes because, you know, if you're shooting videos and stuff, it takes longer than just going and picking up a few things. Plus, I did a payday prep type deal, and that video will be coming out later on this week. I'll show you what I get for $50. All right. It's not a lot compared to what my big video that I did last year, right about this time, when I spent $300. And if you compare the two videos, Lord have mercy. I mean, it's just amazing how everything has gone way up in price. Something else I want to talk about besides the Amazon is we now have all the new merchandise for winter just came out today. So if you guys would like to check that out, all the winter stuff, there's hoodies, there's sweatshirts, there's long sleeve shirts, there's all types of stuff for wintertime. And for 2 days, today and tomorrow, you get 15% off. So if you're looking for any type of Christmas gifts or anything like that, that link also is in the description of the videos, and it's also right on the main page. So we do have the winter merch is out today. All the designs were done up and everything else, and they turned out really cool. If nothing else, just go in there and check them out, folks, because it's really the person doing the designs and stuff, and that's the person that's also running the Facebook and the Instagram on this account. She is doing a fantastic job at designing, and you guys should just go in the Facebook and see some of these reels that she's been doing. They just blow you away. A lot of people have really liked these reels, and there's been a few that have gone a little bit viral too. And she's doing a great job. So go in and check it out, and maybe just leave a comment or something, that would really help out. It would really, really help the whole aspect of the channel. It's all kind of glued together here. We will be having more giveaways coming up. There will not be one this coming weekend. I'm trying to put together something really nice, seeing if I can get it to come together. I'm trying to work with somebody here, and I don't know if we'll find out more this week. And if not, then I'll still do something for not this coming Saturday, but the following week. We'll have a couple of giveaways to give away. On that note, we also have to acknowledge the the whole situation that is being taken place right now, if the whole part of why this video is what it is and what we're going to be talking about. And that is preparing your family now for what is to come. Now, a lot of people out there, you're struggling now. And if you think you're struggling now, you're going to wait until midwinter, late winter, and you're going to be really hurting. First thing I want to talk about is energy. Okay. Now, with energy, we all need to be doing our best to be prepared however we have to. Whether that means we have to be putting money into a separate account to cover, um, you know, our bills and our energy bills and everything else. Gas and diesel, those prices are going to be going up, as you all know. I did release a video the other day about it. OPEC has announced, it was been in the news and everything else. Beginning in November, they are cutting production by 2 million barrels per day. Now, they do blame the American government for this type of situation because they believe that we do not have enough refineries here to cover our consumption of oil. So, one finger points one way and the other finger points the other. You get what I'm saying here, folks? You don't know who to believe anymore. But all I can tell you is gas prices and stuff are going to be going up. Right now in Florida, we're very lucky. Our governor did give us a tax break on gas. Now, it's just on gas. It's not on diesel, but it's just on gas. And that dropped the price 25 cents like that. Now, there are stations that are somehow or another getting around not going and giving everybody that deal. So if you live in Florida, it pays to maybe drive a mile or two and see if you can find something cheaper, because it could be saving you 25, 30 cents a gallon just by driving down the road a little bit. But that does expire at the end of this month when all this is supposed to go in. So we could be looking at a huge increase in our gas prices down here in Florida. It's going to be a cultural shock for everybody here in Florida, because you're going to go back up 25 cents like that. And then whatever the gas goes up, because, OPEC wants to push the price of the barrel of oil back up to $100+ a barrel, because it's only in the 80s or 90s right now. And, obviously they don't have enough money. So that's what they're doing. Your fuel oil prices will be affected by this also. So if you are on fuel oil, you're going to be hurting. They've already said that the fuel oil prices this year will be 40% more than what they were last year. So whatever your bill was last year, tack 40% onto that, and that's what you're going to be paying this year. Electricity, propane, natural gas, and wood. The prices and all these things are going to be going up throughout this year into next year. All right, this isn't going to stop in December 31st. This is going to go right through till next year. And if the inflation rate doesn't start to come down to where they stop doing all these interest hikes and adding points and everything else, we're really going to be hurting, because it's going to really put a real pickle on a lot of people. If you do have and you use electric heat, that is probably going to be the cheapest one per the analyst this year. So out of all these different products that you can be using, even if you do use fuel or propane, natural gas, one of these things, it may be to your benefit to buy a safe electric heater. Now, there's a lot of different models that are out there. They have ones that look like, we have one in my mother-in-law's room here in our house. Okay. It looks like a fireplace. It doesn't get hot at all. You can put your hands all over it. It's as cool as a cucumber, but it puts heat out the bottom. It has a heating element. There's no chance of a fire. I mean, it's the safest thing that you could really put in there. And it looks really nice too. It looks like a little fireplace, and it works great. So I would highly suggest that people really start thinking about how you're going to offset some of your costs this year, whether you're going to use some electricity or you're going to be trying to bank some money to put towards your fuel oil or propane, natural gas. I mean, if you heat your home with wood, and if you know somebody that you get your wood from, or maybe you cut your own wood, that's going to be a huge savings for you. But if you don't, wood prices are all going up. I was doing some reading on that today, and a cord of wood now dry is pushing anywhere between $350 and $450, depending on where you do live throughout the United States. Now, the next thing that I want to cover real quick here is I also want to make sure that people are being aware of the food. Okay. Food prices right now, the amount of money that is going to cost you at the food store it's going up weekly. Every time you go to the grocery store, something is going up, whether it be meat, whether it be dairy. In some areas can be canned goods, frozen goods, fresh vegetables, all this different type of stuff. It's all going up on a weekly basis. It's only going to be getting worse. This is the one area you really need to sit back and plan ahead and be prepping now to offset the upcoming prices this winter, because it's going to get ugly, folks. I'm telling you, there is so much unrest in this world between all these different countries, ours included, that something's bound to happen. Something is bound to go wrong, and it's really going to throw things into one heck of a barrel ride down the hill, because we still have the war and stuff that's going on in Ukraine. All right. Now, all of a sudden, Putin is all of a sudden pulling all his men back. He's been threatening to use either nuclear or bionuclear weapons and everything else. And why is he pulling all his men back and giving up all those areas that he fought for and that he claims now that are his, but he's left the complete area? I've watched 4 different news channels, and they've showed video where they've gone into these areas that were all controlled by Russia, and there's not a soul there. And the places are totally destroyed. They destroyed every single building in those towns. Why? The man must be a madman. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, because why would somebody really do this? And, we're still having a problem trying to get the grains and all that kind of stuff out of Ukraine and get it to the different parts of this world that really depend on that. And it's really going to affect the third world countries like Africa and these places, because they depend on a lot of those grains and stuff to offset and help them out, and so that people don't starve to death. There's a lot of stuff that is going on. And to top it off, now all of a sudden we got the little guy over there across the water there that thinks that he's, I guess, like Russia or China or something. And, he's pulling all different types of shenanigans and everything else. And I wouldn't be surprised if Putin himself was putting him up to it. But hey, maybe he's not. That's just my own personal opinion. But, it just seems like all of a sudden, out of the blue, we just start, acting up again. So there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be going into this whole food shortage and price gouging is what I'm going to call it, because that's what it is. I've had people send me emails with pictures where eggs are costing, for an 18-pack of eggs, $7 plus. I've had people send me pictures where chicken breast is like $7-8 a pound. I'm sorry, folks, but these stores are just, they're just price gouging the heck out of all of us people. And it's taking place all around the world. Europe is going through the same thing. They're having problems with all their heating. They're having problems with food. They're having problems with everything. We're all going through the same scenarios and everything else. And we have to be prepared for this winter. It's very, very dire need. Next on the list that I want to talk about is your shelter. Now, whether you rent your shelter or you own your shelter, okay? If you live somewhere where, winter is coming, you need to make sure that your house is prepared for this upcoming winter. You need to make sure that you can afford to stay there throughout the winter and afford the utility cost of just being there for you and your family. You need to take any and all precautions that you can to try to make sure that the house is very well sealed off from the cold air to try to keep the cold air out and the warm air in, whatever that may be. Maybe you need to do some caulking, or maybe you need to check your windows and stuff and make sure that, hey, they're closing tight and you don't have any leaks. I know where I came from up in Vermont, a lot of the houses are, 100, 200 years old. And some of them have some old windows in them. So, a lot of people put plastic over their windows and this type of stuff. The fire department really doesn't like that. They consider it a fire hazard. But, when push comes to shove, sometimes you have to do what you have to do to try to stay warm. Because probably more than likely, you can't afford to put new windows in your whole house or new front doors and all these type of things. But you need to do whatever those little things that you can do now to prepare, because winter's already rolling in. I saw a comment when I was reading off names there, frost warnings and freeze warnings, out west, well, in the central, out in like the Dakotas and that area, you're supposed to be getting like right down to like 0 already. I mean, it's October, beginning of October, and it's already starting in some areas. People, you really need to be thinking on how and what you can do to save money, especially when it comes to your heating costs, because if it's going right out the window, it's going to do nothing but just cause you more grief in the long run. Now, something else that you really need to be thinking about as we're sticking right along with this whole winter thing is your vehicle. All right. Now, this is a big one because a lot of people just don't think about this until the day the snow starts to fly. But you got to make sure that your vehicle is up to par to handle the winter. You want to check your battery now, have your battery checked, make sure that it's good. It's, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Have your antifreeze checked. Make sure your antifreeze is really good. Make sure your windshield wipers are good. If you haven't already purchased, or you already have your snow tires, if you haven't purchased your snow tires yet, I'm going to give you a little warning here. All right. They've already talked about there's going to be a shortage of snow tires throughout the northern states this year because of, well, all the different things that are going on around the world, between transit times, needing different materials to make these tires and snow tires and all this kind of stuff. So they're already talking there's going to be a shortage on certain types of tires and everything else. So it may be to your benefit. Contact your local tire dealer, whoever you deal with, and at least order your tires and pay for them so that maybe they'll come in and everything else. Or if you're one of these that buy them online, buy your tires now and get that all taken care of. This way here, you are ready to go for winter. All right. Now, this is a really big thing that people really just need to be really thinking about. Here in a second, I'm going to get into 25 things that I think that all of you should be prepping right now, and you should be putting up. Yes, there are a million other things that you could add to this list, but this is 25 major things that I think that everybody should be doing right now in order to make sure that you and your family are going to be safe this upcoming winter, and you can survive through whatever is going to be thrown at us. there is too many loopholes out there right now in what is taking place between the governments of this world and everything else, and some of the things that they're trying to do. Just for instance, in Canada, they have this bill that they're trying to pass that makes it to where if you are a YouTube creator, they are going to have to approve your content before you can post it, is what the bill basically breaks down to saying. Come on, folks. They tried doing that here. I think it was last year or 2 years ago or something like that. And they tried slipping something like that in, not as controlling, because we have, our Constitution, we have free speech and everything else. But they wanted to do a little bit something. They tried sneaking it in one of these bills. You know how they are. They get these bills and they fill it full of all this pork and everything else. It's never, the first 2 pages is about what the bill is about. And then the other 3,729 pages is all about pork, what everybody wants to put in there. Well, thankfully that the Republicans caught on to what they were trying to do, and they nixed that whole thing, because it's what the Democrats wanted to do. They wanted to basically try to control more of YouTube and the social media sites. It wasn't just YouTube, it was all social media sites. So, I mean, this is something that we are all facing at some point in time. We have to really remember and thank God that we do have our Constitution. Yes, there's a lot of people that are very fed up with the government that is to be right now, which I can totally understand. But you also have to really sit back and thank God that you live in this country and that you have the rules that were written by our forefathers in the Constitution that gives us the right to bear arms, to free speech, and to everything else. And I really think that everybody really needs to really, think about some of these things. I see a lot of people out there. There's so much stuff. Um, I really sit there and I wonder sometimes when I'm watching some videos, and it's not even the content creator. It's these people that get on some of these channels and they just start going off, and it's like the person that created the content didn't even mention anything about what these people are going off on, and then it just gets out of control, and it's ridiculous. Um, it's like you have to, they want you to walk around on eggshells and everything else, and not talk about certain things, and not do this and not do that. And a lot of us, I just speak my mind. Yes, I do watch how I come across. I do watch certain words. I do try to, play within the rule book, if you get what I'm saying, so I don't get in trouble and sent to the principal's office on YouTube. But for the rest of it, I mean, you people are watching me, and I'm trying to give you what I believe that is taking place and why you need to be prepared. That's the whole name of the game. The name of the game on this channel is to make sure that people are prepared. People need to realize that this winter is going to be real ugly for a lot of folks. And it's not going to be because of the winter. Now, the Farmer's Almanac has predicted, all this different kind of stuff for all the different parts of the country, just like it has been doing for 200 years or something. What I am talking about is the stuff that is coming down the pike that we know, that we're being told is going to be happening. It's not like they're hiding it from us, folks. The government's telling us, you're screwed. Plain and simple. It's right there in black and white. They're not hiding it from us. We can't sit back and say, well, nobody told us. They're telling us. They've already told us about the energy prices, the food prices. They've already told us about the interest rate hikes because inflation hasn't come down. So it's going to keep going up. You buy a new home right now, if you don't have like A1 perfect credit, 800 and some odd credit score, and you got like $300,000 put down on a house, you're looking at a 7% interest rate on that new home you want to buy. And a lot of my areas that I deliver, that all these new homes they were building, the building has stopped, except for the houses that have been sold. They are not working on anything else. They had crews like you wouldn't believe doing these homes, and all of a sudden it dried up. There's just shells of homes sitting there. Now, you people can believe that or not, but that's what's taking place. And I'll have to try to get some video and show you the hundreds of homes that are just shells. Nobody's working on anymore. And you can tell nobody's been working on there because you see all the weeds and stuff starting to grow up. It's a shame. And where we're headed isn't going to be any prettier. We have the midterm elections coming up. That's going to be deciding a lot of things that are going on right now. And we have to really be mindful of what is coming. We really do, folks. So let me get to this list. All right. Things you want to have on hand and buy now before the prices go up anymore. Now, these are in no particular order. Okay. These are just 25 things that I sit down and I thought about, and I was just like, what are the 25 things that everybody out there really needs to concentrate on trying to succeed in putting up to have? And here we go. So number one, canned vegetables or frozen vegetables. Because just think, if you live up north and it's, 0 out or 20 below or whatever else, and if you lose power, put your frozen goods outside. They're not going to thaw. You can just put them right out there in a cooler or whatever and bury it with snow, and it'll stay frozen for a very long time. Canned potatoes is another one I think everybody should be looking into. Walmart's canned potatoes, they're up. I think they're 88 cents. During my video tomorrow, you'll see those. I used to buy those for 60 cents a can when I stockpiled all the potatoes I have right now. Canned beans of all kinds. Now, that can be anything from kidney beans, black beans. That can be pork and beans. That can be baked beans, whatever you want. Beans of all kinds in cans. Now, I don't have dry beans on here for a simple fact is a lot of people do not really understand the importance of how to cook dried beans. They don't realize that some of these beans, if you don't rinse them properly and follow the methods, they can make you very sick or even kill you. So that's why I'm using canned beans, because all the dangerous thought process has been taken out of the equation for you out there. So you can just open them up and they're ready to go. So that's why we're using canned beans instead of dry beans. Now, if you wanted to store beans for long-term, dry beans is what you'd want. Canned meats of all kinds. All right. Now you can get all different types of canned meats. They are running a little scarce in some stores, and then other stores have them, but they're charging you an arm and a leg for them. So you have to do your homework on your canned meats and try to score the best deals that you can. Rice. Rice is very important. Rice is the number one prepping product besides water. All right. So having rice will get you through just about anything, especially along with pasta. Pasta and rice go hand in hand. They'll last for very, very long time, folks. And if you store them properly and everything else, you'll always have something to put in your belly one way or the other. You can use either one of those and add just about anything to it. and voila, you have a meal, you have dinner for you and your family. Okay. Pasta sauce, any type of pasta sauce that you like. Right now, the cheapest one still is Hunt's at Walmart. I think the traditional is still 98 cents. The other ones are, I believe, a buck 15, a buck 14, something like that. They used to be 98 cents also, but the only one that still is just the traditional, and the rest of them are all $1.14 a can. But that's for that big Hunt's can. I mean, that's a lot of sauce, so you could feed a lot of people with that. Gravies of all kind. So you can buy canned gravy, jarred gravy, or packets of dry gravy, because this way here you have something to mix in with your rice, your pasta, or your potatoes, or whatever, and it won't be so bad. So you can take and you have your gravies, your sauces, and all this type of stuff. You can do just about anything with all that. Flour. Make sure that you do have flour in your pantry, extra flour in case you need to make bread or anything of that nature. Sugar. Make sure you have extra sugar and those type of things. Salt. Make sure you have salt, because salt can be used for a lot of different things also, from sore throats, soaking your feet. Can be used. You can, if you had to, you could pour it out on your steps or something if they're covered in ice. Salt has a lot of different uses. Yeast. This way you can make your flour, but you can make flour without yeast. There are recipes out there. I would highly suggest that people look into that. Oil and shortening. All right. Make sure that you do have oil and shortening for any type of cooking, baking, any of that type of stuff. If possible, stock up on butter. Freeze it. Now, when I went to my Walmart today, my rinky dinky little Walmart that they call a super center, which is far from super, um, they they had no butter. Walmart's butter. They didn't have any. They had the non-salted version, but they didn't have any salted. So I ended up buying a different brand that only cost me, I think, like 15, 20 cents more than what um, the Walmart brand is. So, I really wasn't really crying the blues over that one. But, I try to stock up on butter and stuff now. Um, Once we get closer to the holiday season, my wife likes to make cookies for all the kids and grandkids and send those all away. And so we do go through a lot of butter around the holidays. Pancake mix. Pancake mix is a big one, because guess what, folks? If you have kids, you can make them pancakes. It's a hot meal. Everybody loves pancakes. All right. So having pancake mix is a big thing. Make sure you have plenty of it. You can store it in airtight containers. You can vacuum seal it. You can store it in Mylar bags. The Mylar bags, it doesn't last as long as a lot of people think it does, but it would last you throughout the winter. All right. So salt and sand for your sidewalk and driveways. This is something a lot of people don't think about. Another one of those things, until the storm comes and, well, I don't have any salt or sand to put down in my driveways. Now, a lot of some of these things are for people that live in the north. Us people live in the south, obviously, we do not have to worry about that. But there is a lot of people that live in a lot of areas that do have to deal with the wintertime weather. And that's why we are bringing that up right now. Because I did notice when I was in Walmart today that they did have these, they actually had these shovels and stuff, and they almost looked like snow shovels down here in Florida. Now, they didn't call them snow shovels, but that's what they looked like. They were some type of a new shovel that they have out that's, supposed to be really good on your back or something like that. But it reminded me of, snow shovels and this type of stuff. So, having that kind of stuff ready to go is a plus. A good snow shovel is also something that you're going to need if you live in the north. All right. Make sure that you don't buy a cheap one from the dollar store. Spend the money, go to a good hardware store or something, and buy a very good snow shovel that's going to get you through the winter and do the job and not break your back. Everybody should have an emergency go bag for your car, especially if you're going to be traveling at all this upcoming holiday season. This way, here you have some emergency supplies and things of that nature in there also. And, if something happens, you break down or whatever else, you have something to fall back on. You also want to make sure that you do carry extra blankets in your car also. And that would also go for people down here in Florida, because we do get mornings where it is, down into the 30s. And if you go a little bit north of me, it gets down in the 20s. So for people in Florida, that's cold. That's really cold, folks. All right. So, it doesn't hurt to throw an extra blanket in the back of your trunk or something, or the back seat or whatever during the wintertime, just on the chance if you did break down, you got something extra to try to keep you warm until help arrives or you can contact somebody or whatever. All right. Extra water in your car is also a bonus, and having extra water also in your home is a bonus also. Walmart did have, a ton of pallets of like the 40 packs of water. But do you know that you cannot buy a gallon of water to save your life there? None, period. Now, I know a lot of people use different types of ways of filtering their own water and stuff, but a lot of people don't. And so, but you couldn't buy any gallon water jugs of water. You also want to make sure that you do have a good first aid kit. There's a lot of stuff that is going around. I'm sure a lot of you heard how the government is, they just spent $290 million on buying these new drugs that were approved by the FDA that is basically made for nuclear radiation. Now, first off, why are they buying all this product? And secondly, they did say, they came out with a statement and said that these were already in the works to be purchased, has nothing to do with any threats or anything else that is going on. Yeah, okay. So basically, you're seeing that the government is stocking up on all this type of stuff. And maybe you should be looking into whatever you need to do to put in your first aid kit in case of something like that may happen. We don't know where any of this is going, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared at all at this point in time. Next on the list is a fire extinguisher. Make sure that you do have a fire extinguisher. Everybody should have one in your home. A lot of people don't carry them in their cars or anything, but you should have one in your home. Now's a good time to check it, as long with your 9-volt batteries and your smoke detectors and your carbon dioxide detectors. Okay, so you make sure all those things, if they're not hardwired, if you live in an older home, and make sure that those batteries and stuff are all in good working order. Emergency power supplies, battery banks, or generators. All right, so you want to make sure that you do have something to fall back on in case the power does go out and you don't have any way to heat your home. You want to make sure that you have either a generator or a battery bank that maybe could fire up your furnace or run your refrigerator, this type of stuff, so that you can still stay where you are, because you may not be able to leave depending on what kind of a storm it is. I mean, if it's an ice storm, look at the one that hit Texas not too long ago and devastated them, and people they didn't know what to do. They're not used to that kind of stuff. So, everything goes around in these big, huge cycles. And so having emergency power of some sort as a backup is something that you really want to be pondering and thinking about, especially right now. I mean, you got all these huge stores running all these great deals and stuff. Maybe you can find a battery bank or a generator or something like that. It might help you out in a time of need. You need a backup heat source. All right. So either you need something that runs on propane, kerosene, or electric. All right. Something that you can power up, something that you can run safely in your home. Don't buy some of these cheap Chinese made pieces of crap that are out there, and it's going to burn down your house or, hurt somebody or kill somebody in your family. All right. You got to use your head, do your research on those types of products, and make sure that they're good quality. There hasn't been any issues with them. They haven't been recalled for anything and all this different types of stuff. All right. We really have to be paying attention to everything that is going on when we are purchasing these type of things, especially when it comes to a external heat source that we're going to be using in our homes to try to get through the storm until either the power comes on or somebody can come fix the issue with the furnace or whatever. And lastly, but not least, a good plan to get you through any obstacles you will run across this winter. So, having a plan in place to help you get around these obstacles that you probably could be running up against. Maybe you live in an area you get a lot of snow. Maybe you live in an area you get ice. These type of things. Having a plan in place. What are you going to do? Okay, if I can't get out and pick up the kids from school, what are we going to do here? How are we going to get the kids from school home? Do you have friends that live closer to the school? They could maybe go there until maybe you can get to the friend's house, or, family members, or any of this type of stuff. You have to have these types of plans in place so that your kids know what to do, you know what to do, and everything. So this has been 25 things that I think everybody should be stocking up on. There's 2 extras: honey and pure maple syrup. All right. Honey can be used as a sweetener, and so can pure maple syrup, and both of them will last a very long time. If your honey or your syrup, they start to crystallize or anything, especially your syrup, you can just put it into a warm bath and it'll decrystallize it, and this way here you still have syrup. Your honey, well, that's been known to be good for thousands of years, so I mean, it's still good no matter what. All right, folks. So I'm going to jump over here, and if anybody has any questions or anything, please put them in all capital letters, and we're going to go over here and see what is going on and with the comments and everything else. And I got to find my glasses. There they are. Put them around your neck. You don't ever find them. Oh, there we go. Pancake mix. What goes bad is the baking powder. The solution is to just add a bit to the mix. Same with other mixes. Hey, there we go. There we go, folks. Honey can be used on wounds. Yes, it can. I got sunburned one time, and I got burnt real bad on my back. I had blisters, and my ex-mother-in-law used honey and put on my back to, take care of the sunburn, and it worked. Oh, Pitbull, I have pure honey from Texas. Wow, that's nice. Very nice. All right, let me scroll back up through here. Jan says that she's low on honey. I'm in my last 2 gallons. There you go. Yeah, coffee first and speak. Honey is awesome. Just don't feed it to child under a year old. It's a good little warning there. Just scroll right back up through. JT, smoking is only for persons with big money. Atlanta Page says, Walmart is hurting themselves. People get tired of being taken for a ride at the cash register. If you get overcharged every time, it's easier to go somewhere else. I would highly agree with that because there's been a lot of that going on lately. All right, let's see here. Scrolling back up through. Well, let's see. MBG says, Susan, I would like to make my own pancake mix. Is there any suggestions where to find a good recipe? That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. I have a solar generator, but it doesn't keep a charge anymore. I have had it for so many years. I just can't afford one now. Now that's the tough part, Sylvia. I mean, being able to afford some of these things nowadays, depending on what size you need, that could set you back a little bit of money. Miss PK13, my taste and smell have been messed up for over a year now. It's hard for me to go too far past an expiration date now, unless my husband is home to smell and taste things for me. Certain things that you should be able to go, past past the date, and you should be fine. There are some things, I mean, it'd be kind of obvious. You probably know, like if the can's bulging or something like that, don't even open it, just throw it in the trash. All right, let's see here. Daniel says, Heater Buddy is not bad tested in a bit, but have a better plan. I think some of those heater buddies, I've heard people talk about them. I've never used one. Um, electric blankets is nice to have. Yes, electric blankets, um, they are very nice. MBG says, Pitbull. Someone in the comments said not to use pancake mix after the expiration date. Do you believe that? No, I do not, because I use pancake mix after the expiration date in the original package that's come in, and they've been fine. Now, I don't know if I'd let it go 3-4 years after the expiration date, but I mean, if you go 2 or 3 months and it still looks fine, it mixes fine, you pour a pancake and it cooks fine, it's probably going to be fine. I haven't had any problems. Pitbull, I have a generator and battery banks. All right. Track Rock says, get tobacco seed and grow your own. Better to not smoke and ruin your lungs. This is true. Very hard to stop. But in certain parts of this country, the price of cigarettes is big time. All right, let me just say, let's see here. Jamie says oil lamps. Yes, oil lamps are a great thing, folks. I mean, if you have oil lamps, we had them for years. Down here, they call them hurricane lamps. Up north, they call them oil lamps. People burn those things for hundreds of years. I mean, that's how they had light 200 years ago. So yeah, having oil lamps are really good. Let's see. Landing page. I cannot see Walmart hurting. They are packed every time I am in there. They've made enough to cover this year, last year, and 2020. If Walmart goes down, I say poor management. The problem with Walmart is they keep cutting their expectations. So a lot of the big all these big banks and the stockholders and all this kind of stuff are getting nervous because of the way Walmart keeps cutting their expectations. Because you see, the reason they're doing all these sales now, not just Walmart, all these companies, because they know that if interest rates go up again, inflation keeps going up and everything else, people are going to get priced out of not being able to afford to buy any of these fun type goods, as I call them. You're going to have to basically buy in your regular supplies that you need on a daily basis to, survive. Crystal says sleeping bags. Yeah, sleeping bags come in handy. I've got a bunch of sleeping bags. Beer bread. Yes, beer bread is delicious. My wife makes the beer bread. Um, 3 cups of self-rising flour, 1 can room temperature beer, and a half a cup of sugar. Add cheese or jalapenos. Yes, beer bread is very delicious. My wife makes it sometimes. As far as I know, your dying from eating expired pancake mix was a myth and made up story. Only if it has mold spores in them, and then it's only really bad if you have allergies to the mold. Okay, there we go. That answered that question. Propane buddy heater. Yeah, a lot of people use those. They have a pretty good record. I know a lot of different stores sell them. I mean, you can buy them everywhere. Um, let's see. Cheryl says, I ate 2-year-old green beans packed in those little plastic cups. They were fine. Yes. I mean, it's all in how you store this stuff, you know? I totally agree, Trek Rock. Look at the 18th century for what to do. If they didn't survive, we wouldn't be here. Yes, for those of you that were able to be around, maybe your grandparents and stuff and everything else, as growing up, like I did, um, they had their own ways of doing things and they survived. I mean, my grandmother lived to be almost 100 years old. Um, so, I mean, it is what it is. All right, let me scroll down here to the bottom if I can get to the bottom. If I don't want to go to the bottom, it takes me there anyways. Oh yeah, aluminum foil, nothing better to cook on the fire. Yes, this is true. Louise says we were in Walmart today and the bread we buy went up to 378. I was like, good God, that's high. And that's why you start buying your own flour and stuff and start making your own bread and those type of things. You make bread and rolls and whatever. Because the prices, I was blown away by some of the prices in the store today. A can of Spam. Now I'm not going to tell you because if I do, then it just kind of ruins my video tomorrow. But wait till you see how much a can of Spam is. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, folks. We're over our hour right now. Better than nothing. I yell $5. Cheer, mate. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, my grandma put bread wrappers over my mittens secured with rubber bands. We use like these trash bags, and we put them around our feet, and then put our boots and our feet in the boots to keep them dry. And we survived. We also rode a bicycle without a helmet. We're still here. I'm just saying. I don't know, folks. But then again, we didn't have all the traffic that out there today. So I wouldn't put a kid out there on a bicycle for nothing without a helmet on. I mean, come on. Well, especially down here in Florida. If you live out in the sticks somewhere, okay. But I mean, down here in Florida, people are getting run over every day because people just don't watch where they're going because they're too busy on their telephones. You know? Local matters when you need milk. Yes, we are stacked to the rafters. Yeah, there you go. Aldi's white bread is 99 cents. I haven't been in Aldi's in a while. I have to go in there and check out. Last time I went in my Aldi's, the one that's up here by me, it's kind of like my Walmart, unfortunately. I really, it's just a little Aldi's. I mean, small. And they run out of stuff really quick. Ran into Kroger for a couple of items yesterday afternoon. Meat section was literally half empty. Yes, wait till you see my Walmart section. Right there with you. Right there with you, Principal Prepper. I am. All right. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight on the live stream, on Saturday night's live stream. I'd like to thank all the moderators for being here. As always, you guys are awesome. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. That is Jan and JT and Coffee First and Speak. I'd also like to thank all the members that are on here right now, and thank you for being here. We really do appreciate it. And as I go through here, I just want people to really understand the importance of being prepared for what is coming, and this upcoming winter is so very, very important. I hope people really follow through on some of the things that I talked about, some of the things to prepare for, some of the things to be looking at right now to try to make sure that you are doing all you can for you and your family. I want people to also really think about where you stand with the list that I did give you. It was the 25 different items of things plus the 2 bonus ones. And I want people to really understand the importance of those 25 items. Those 25 items can be the difference of eating and starving to death, and staying warm and freezing to death, being prepared in your car, and being stranded somewhere with no supplies. The whole point of this video was to make people aware, to make sure that you all understand the importance of all these different little things, and to bring awareness to all of you out there that are subscribers, or even if you're watching Survival Preparedness for Beginners. I care about you too. There's a lot of people that watch that don't subscribe. Why? I don't know, but that's your own choice. You have the choice of hitting that subscribe button. You also have that choice of hitting that notified bell so that you get notified when any of my videos do come out. You also have a choice of hitting the like button. The thing of it is, folks, is you have to make the choice. Is your choice to be prepared? Is your choice to be ready? Because the writing's on the wall. We're being told these things. I'm not making this stuff up. All right. We've already been warned by the government and all these different analysts and all these different things that are going on. The warning is right there. I mean, it's right there in black and white. They're telling us. So if we don't prepare for ourselves, has anybody saw the long lines of people waiting for FEMA help down there on the west coast of Florida that got devastated? They're standing in line for 8 to 10 hours a day trying to get up there to get help. Imagine that. Is that where you want to be? Or do you want to have a plan? I feel really bad for the people that are in southern Florida on the west coast. What they're going through is probably unimaginable. I can't imagine my whole home being blown completely away. And if you didn't have a plan to where you had supplies and things in a different spot, this is why preppers normally don't store a lot of their things all in one basket, for this simple fact. It can be gone in a heartbeat and you have nothing to fall back on. And it's very difficult for some people to do because maybe you don't have anybody you can store stuff with, or that lives far enough away that would make a real difference. Maybe your family all lives around you. So what do? You know, I mean, you have to really think about those things. That's where your plans come in place, and in how you can try to get around all these different obstacles that you're going to be dealing with. So I'm Survival Preparedness for Beginners. I'd like to thank everybody once again for being here on this Saturday night. We'll be back here next Saturday night at 8 p.m. also. And hopefully we'll have some news on the giveaways and what we're going to be doing. And also remember, the new merchandise did come out today. Go in and check that out. If nothing else, just check out some of the cool designs and stuff. It's really cool. You do save 15% on anything that you do order today and tomorrow. And also remember, the Amazon is having their big sale starting on Monday, the 10th and the 11th. If you do need any type of survival products, whatever that could be. I have a huge category list on my Amazon page. Go on there, take a look around. I'm not saying you have to buy anything. Just click and go in there, take a look around, and then if nothing else, if you find something but you can't quite afford that particular product, click on it, let it go to another page, and then maybe you can find one that fits your budget so that you are prepared. So once again, I am Survival Preparedness for Beginners. Thank you for everything that you've done for this channel. Thank you for all your support. I really do appreciate it. You people mean the world to me. And I hope everybody stays safe and you keep prepping. And remember, prepping is the name of the game right now. You have time, but your time is running out. And do it now before it's too late. So until next Saturday, I'll catch you all on the flip side.